Feeling buried under a mountain of debt? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. But getting your financial life back on track, it's way more than just cutting back on a few things. Today, we're going to lay out a real strategic plan for a complete financial reset. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's start with a number that should really grab your attention, 78.9%. According to a CNC/PIC survey from December 2025, that's how many Brazilian families are dealing with some kind of debt. So if you're in that boat, look around, you're in the majority. This isn't just a personal failing, it's a huge collective challenge.
So what's the main culprit here? I mean, where is all this debt coming from? Well, this chart tells the whole story, and it's not even close. The credit card is the #1 villain, making up a staggering 85% of family debt. It's ground zero for so many financial headaches, and it's exactly what we're here to figure out.
Now, before we can even think about finding a way out, we need to understand the maze we're in. So in this first part, we're going to get a really clear picture of the whole debt landscape, just to know exactly what we're dealing with.
I know what you might be thinking. Okay, got it. Spend less money. But honestly, it goes so much deeper than that. This isn't about whether you buy a fancy coffee or not. It's about a complete strategic overhaul of how you approach your financial life. Let me show you why.
Every single good plan starts with knowing your exact coordinates on the map. We're calling this step the diagnosis. This is all about finding your financial "you are here" marker, the absolute starting point that we're going to build everything on top of.
So what do we actually mean by this? Well, personal financial reorganization is a systematic process. And you got to pay attention to those key words: systematic, restructure, and behaviors. See? It's a full-on strategy to take back control, find your balance, and, this is the best part, actually get back to a place where you can save and build for the future.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got these isolated actions, things we all try when we're panicked. But on the right, you have a real holistic strategy. Instead of just blindly cutting costs, you do a full diagnosis. Instead of just randomly trying to renegotiate a bill, you create a payment plan that you can actually stick to. It's the difference between plugging one hole in a leaky boat and, well, building a brand new, stronger one.
All right, our diagnosis is done. We know where we stand. Now it's time to go on the attack. This section is all about the game plan, the proven strategies that actually work for tackling your debt head-on.
Okay, this right here, this is where we identify the real enemy. Just look at these numbers for the total effective cost. That's the real cost of borrowing money each year. A revolving credit card at around 430% annually, that's not just a debt, my friends. That is a wealth-destroying monster. This is precisely why you have to know which debts to attack first. It's absolutely critical.
So how do you fight back? You've got two main weapons in your arsenal. The avalanche method is pure math. You hammer away at the debt with the highest interest rate first, which saves you the most money in the long run. Then there's the snowball method, which is all about psychology. You pay off the smallest debt first, get that quick win, and use that motivation to roll into the next one. Look, neither one is better than the other. The real key is to be honest with yourself and pick the strategy you're actually going to stick with.
So once you have a plan to get out of debt, you have to build your defenses to make sure you never end up back there. And that defense, that's your emergency fund. It is the absolute bedrock of any long-term financial security.
Now, a good emergency fund isn't just any old savings account. It has to have 3 things, no exceptions. First, high liquidity, meaning you can get your hands on that cash like right now. Second, low risk. This is not the money you gamble with, safety first. And third, it needs to have a real return, something that at least keeps up with inflation, so your money doesn't just slowly disappear.
Okay, so how much do you actually need? This slide is basically your personal cheat sheet. If you've got a super stable job, maybe 3 to 6 months worth of your essential expenses is enough. But if you're self-employed with income all over the place, you need a much bigger cushion. We're talking 12 months, maybe even more. Find yourself on this chart, and that's your target. So, we've gone through the diagnosis, the attack plan, the defense. Now let's just boil this all down into the big ideas. The core lessons that won't just get you out of debt, but will keep you financially healthy for the rest of your life.
So what's our first big takeaway? It's simple, but it's everything. You cannot fix a problem you don't fully understand. Getting a clear, brutally honest picture of your numbers, your income, your spending, everything, is the absolute, non-negotiable first step.
And here's the second lesson, and this one is a total game changer. High-interest debt doesn't just slow you down, it is actively working against you. It's destroying your ability to build wealth faster than you could ever hope to earn it. Getting rid of it isn't just a nice goal, it's a mathematical emergency.
Our third insight is all about doing things in the right order, and so many people get this wrong. Your emergency fund is the solid foundation. Without it, one bad day, a car repair, a medical bill, can force you to sell your investments at the worst possible time. You can't build a strong house on a foundation of sand. Fourth, and this might be the most important lesson of all, a perfect plan on paper is completely useless if you don't actually follow it. Understanding your own money psychology, your habits, your triggers, is half the battle. The secret is to build systems that work for you, not against you. And the fifth and final insight really changes your whole perspective. Getting your finances in order isn't a finish line you cross. It's a journey. A healthy financial life means you're always checking in, always tweaking the plan as your life and your goals change. It's a continuous process.
Hey, if getting this kind of strategic handle on your personal economy was interesting to you, imagine applying that same kind of thinking to the huge forces shaping our world, like macroeconomics, tech, and AI. If that sounds cool, you'll definitely love what we do over on our channel, Macroeconomica. Make sure you follow us for more deep dives just like this one.
Ready for your next steps? Don't just close the window. Dive deeper with all the sources we linked in the description. Hit that follow button on Macroeconomic IA and definitely turn on notifications so you don't miss our next analysis.
And just to wrap up, a quick but important disclaimer. This is all for educational and informational purposes. It is not financial advice. Always talk to a qualified professional before making any big money decisions. Thanks so much for being here.